Testing, testing. Mic check, mic check. Hello, everybody. Hello, hello. Welcome to another Ink with Inkstructor. It's been a little while. Had to take a week off. Unfortunately, my car had broke down last week, so I had to handle some real life stuff. Had no car for a little bit, so I had to take some time away from the studio to get that settled. But I got a new car now. I'm riding clean, new whip. So I'm back in the stew. Today we're gonna do some sketching. I actually did some traditional sketching for this one. And I scanned it in. We're gonna draw on the iPad to clean it up. But as I said before, I am trying to get into kind of the mode of drawing like a tattoo artist would. So I'm trying to think of like, what do I usually see people getting tattooed? The last one we did was a tiger drawing, and it came out pretty clean. Let me see if I have it here. Let me see if I have it here, guys. 1 second. That's not it. That's definitely not it. Well, I can't find the actual drawing here right now, but I did do it before. But this one is a traditional sketch. I have it here. You can see bird with some flowers. We're going to take this into the iPad and do some of that and do some cleaning up of the lines. So I'm going to switch my screen to the split screen. See what we can find. I'm going to try to find some stuff so you can watch as I draw so it's not so boring. I know people usually put like Minecraft Minecraft videos and stuff, or maybe I'll just keep the reference up here. We can just keep the reference. I'll just look at some reference here so we can kind of get some ideas on how to ink this thing. I want it to look clean, sleek. So I'll keep some of this up. Keep our references and our sketch to the right. Here we have the iPad. I'm able to control it. See, I have my paper texture as well. But yeah, lately life has been getting pretty hectic. So I'm trying to keep up, man. Trying to stay active. Trying to stay, on point and continue to show up for you guys as I also take care of my real life business. So let me share this link with people so they know that I'm live. Hopefully everybody's doing great. It's good to see all of y'all. Link. Can I even paste the link? Post it on my Inkstructor page. Make sure people know that I am live. Link. Paste. There we go. I know a lot of people aren't really into the whole live stream thing, but I think it's really fun. Okay, I got that posted. Let's make sure. I'm gonna go back to my regular drawing. let's see. All right. Perfect. All right, so let's put some reference on the screen. I'm gonna put my music on. Try to see if I can find some. Nah, I don't know if I want to put any music behind this. Every time I do, it never works. It always gives me some copyright issues. YouTube is pretty strict about music, so I'll keep the music off until I get, like, I don't know, epidemic sound or something. For now, you could just listen to me yap while I do this. Hopefully everybody's in a good mood today. The sun is out. Finally. We're finally getting out of that winter cold, man. I'm sick of that. I need the sun. My dogs need the sun. But if you can see, I have here. We're just going to keep the references open. And we're going to talk about, inking this stuff. This is all my my reference, instructor's reference book. It's on Pinterest. It's really just a bunch of categories of references for people to look at so you can draw, get inspired here. This is kind of how I keep my thoughts organized. I'm going to use True Grit Texture Supplies brushes. So here I have their inkers. I don't know which one I want to use. Let's see. Brush liner. That's pretty nice. See if I can. Yeah, I like the pressure sensitive brushes. Makes me feel like I'm using an actual brush pen. And I love that. I think so. I've tried like Clip Studio Paint, and I always find comfort in the fact that when I'm drawing on Procreate, let's say I just want that perfect smooth curve, I can just hold it and it just makes it perfect. I think that is like probably the best thing about Procreate, if we're being honest. But here I have the bird with some flowers. I don't know. I look at the other tattoos, right? Or like these tattoo designs, and I'm like, oh man, I love the flow of it. I really want to capture that in this. And I feel like I do need to make some adjustments. I feel like these wings are a little too small. So I'm actually going to go on my sketch layer. We're just going to mask this. We're just going to make it bigger. So I'm just going to grab these wings. I'm just going to increase the size of it. Let's try distorting it. All right. Because I have my my actual reference here. I think if I increase this one, right? I want it to look like it's going back in space. That look all right, right? Yeah, I think that looks much better actually. And I feel like the feet, right? These feet need some work. So let's use blue color we have here. Got to reposition these feet. I feel like the feet are just off. Maybe I can erase this here and just. Turn off this texture so I can get the actual color. Turn it back on. Okay. So if we look here at the reference, let's actually split it up again. Let's look at the reference. It's kind of nice being able to see it side by side. I also feel like doesn't have to be perfect or exact. And I think this hand is a little too big. Let's make it a little smaller to match the size of the other one. All right. I'm also going to take some inspiration from Katsuya Terada. Not so much the texture, but I love the flow, man. The flow. Oh man, this is beautiful. Yeah, that's nice. All right, let's do some. Let's get to some black and white. Now I'm itching. So I'm gonna turn the opacity down of this layer, and let's just dive right in. Let's use a I really want it to feel like a real pen, so let's use black. Okay. I don't want to zoom in too much. I want to be able to see. So I'm going to keep it like around here. I think that's another thing that I do a lot of. I just zoom in too much, and I don't get to look at the bigger picture until I zoom out, you know? And when you're drawing in real life, that's just not how it goes. And chances are, whatever you're obsessing about in that zoom is definitely not even noticeable. It's going to slow you down, so. Right, I'm trying to think of the form, right? So if we're looking at the form, there's planes. We have this piece right here that separates, and then it dips low, and then it comes back around. So I want to emphasize some of that by adding some of these light lines. Go some in there. Right. I'm gonna throw some hair in there. I'll have to remember to look at the other reference, my actual. Do I want to go for a really inky style? Nah, maybe I should just. I do want to keep it simple and clean. Let's try this again. It's okay to restart, man. Like, nothing wrong with that. Maybe I should use a smooth nib, right? Maybe this line breaking apart is throwing me off. Let's try that. Perfect. This is much better. Some ambient occlusion here. Line depth here. And then I'll have the fur come up this way. I'm going to look at the actual reference real quick because there is a pattern. So I'm going to add some of that into windows. And then I'm gonna break that up. Then we're going to smooth that line out. Yeah, I think it's dope to incorporate the actual patterns that the bird has with line. Thinking the design that I'm kind of referencing, I see how they incorporated, like, just kind of insinuating that there's some detail. And I don't want to completely, copy the style. So I'll add some different stuff. Trying to think of that feather shape. It's so crazy to me how like everything to me. So there could be robots doing this and I would still do it just cuz I literally love drawing. The act of it, the satisfaction of finishing something, there's nothing like it. And that's kind of another reason why I kind of want to get into tattoos, because even if AI is a part of the process, the actual tattoo artist still has to perform the act of tattooing. So it feels like a safer route for artists like me who love pen and ink. I don't have the skills to be a digital painter or anything like that. So I'll just stick to what I love, which is ink. And I feel like it's the most possible option for me to actually make a living doing what I love to do, which is art. Yeah. What's up, Maya? Really thinking about that, yo. Really thinking about the next step. I don't know about y'all, but these days art feels like very hopeless almost, or pointless, and it's scary. Even the actual companies that are even the actual companies that are making tools for artists are using AI art in their promotional work, and I don't know, just weird space. We're in a weird in between where like we want to explore and use it, but it's also like a smack in the face. I don't know. Just drawing. Just drawing. I'll tell you right now, man, no robot is going to stop me from drawing. I'll tell you that. I love getting better. I find peace in the art process. At this point, it's not even creating for something I want to create for the sake of creating. I just love doing it. I understand it's very difficult. I also face these challenges when drawing. Yeah, because it's like you could put all this time into a drawing, and a robot can still probably pump out something better and faster than you. So it's like, what are we supposed to do, you know? But that's where you kind of just have to accept it and tell yourself, you know, do I want to let this stop me from even trying, or do I want to do this for me because I just love doing it? And I love doing it, so I'm going to do it. Yeah, thanks. I don't know. I have a lot of fun just seeing what I can do because I always look at like the manga artists in Japan, right? But like of the past too, and all of the handcrafted artworks that are made with pen and ink, and that's what inspires me. I don't think I've ever been inspired by a piece of AI art. I don't think I've ever looked at AI art and been like, I don't know, I don't get the same feeling. It's the same reason why like new anime kind of just feels so, I don't know, something about it, something about it just, I don't know. It's too clean. Some the gritty traditional stuff is what I really love. Even though I'm drawing on a tablet right now, that's just for the sake of streaming and cleaning up. But this was a traditional drawing. So you can incorporate digital tools and stuff. I think it's part of the natural evolution of art. AI art is part of the natural evolution of what's going to come to us in the future. But like to let it completely replace artists is like kind of insane. And art was the first industry that kind of was affected before like a lot of stuff, you know. I feel like artists were the first ones to feel the power of AI before like doctors and all this stuff. Like eventually everything will be automated. I mean, think about the last time that you went through think about the last time you went through a grocery store checkout, right? You go to the grocery store. Do you actually go to the cashiers, or do you just go to self checkout because it's automated and you don't have to interact with people? You know, it's like, oh my god, what the world is becoming more and more isolated, more and more like about self and not so much helping the other people, because it's like, yeah, I could do this myself, but this other person needs a job. Maybe I should just let them do the job so that they can keep money in their pocket, you know? I don't know. The robots are just taking over. This is crazy. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I hope you do pick up a pencil or pen or whatever you use. Pick it up today and say, you know what? I'm not going to let doubt get in the way of me doing what I want to do, which is draw. And like, it's okay to just draw. A lot of people think that because they're not doing drawing for money, it's like, you don't have to do it for money. You can just do it. I want to do it for money because I just love doing it and I would love to do it for a living. It's just something I genuinely enjoy, and I want to bring that feeling to other people. That's why I teach. It's why I do all of this. Okay, so I think this here, I need to think about that pattern texture I see here. More advanced. Yeah, more advanced, man. Everything's getting more advanced. It's like It's moving very fast too. Almost too fast. And I always try to imagine a world where, like, you know, you don't need to you don't need to interact with people, and that's like really strange. I've watched like Ghost in the Shell, um, you know, other animes that are like super like robot, Evangelion, and it always looks so depressing. They just depend on the robot. I don't know. Humanity is playing with something that's very dark. To me, it's dark. Artificial intelligence to me is dark. It's dark stuff. Yep, exactly. It starts with artificial intelligence, and then it goes into artificial humans, artificial animals, artificial food. Well, I mean, we've already been there, but I don't know. Very strange. But there's also a lot of advancements in AI that's like very beneficial to humanity as far as like curing diseases and whatever. But mm, mm, I don't know. Yeah, that's great, but it's really scary though. Like the potential. Yeah, because you know, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I think I talk to Chat GPT more than a lot of people. Like, how crazy is that? I always ask Chat GPT questions. I'm like, hey, I need help with my business, or, you know, help me out with learning this or that. And it's like, in the same breath that I say AI is going to be the death, or not the death, but like doom of artistic jobs and stuff, I'm also using it as a tool for my art. I use it to help me. I use it to help me generate ideas and organize my thoughts and stuff. So it's like, it's still good. But the part of it that's like scary is like the replacement of us and how fast it can happen. It's super super weird. Like, I can feed ChatGPT some information and be like, "Hey, organize this for me." And I love that because I am terrible at organizing. So I do use it. Where are you from, Maya? Where are you from? I'm curious. Oh, Pakistan. Wow. Thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate it. That's incredible. And how'd you find my page? Through like a video, reels? Do you remember how you found this? I always wonder. I really appreciate you coming in too. Thank you. I've been trying to do something different from Instagram. I'm trying to get into YouTubing and making more videos so people can kind of watch me draw instead of just looking at a post on Instagram. Right now it's a little slow, but it's okay. You know, it comes with time. I did it with Instagram. I'm pretty sure I could do it here too. Pardon the find your video on YouTube. Oh wow. You found me on YouTube. That's great. Cause really where my people are is Instagram. So to hear that you found me on YouTube is actually even better. I'm really trying to build a following on my YouTube. Turn off that paper texture. I love it, but it is a little distracting. So let's try doing it without it. Dun, dun, dun. I'm not too sure though. It's been a long time. That's awesome. I know. I wish I was more consistent with my content creation. I don't know if you were here in the beginning, but a lot of real life stuff has been happening. Like my car broke down, and I just had to take care of that. So I'm not always in the studio. I wish I could be more consistent. I'm really trying to work on that this year. So let's see if I can keep that promise to myself. Struggling as a beginner in digital art. Okay, awesome. Sweet. Hopefully, um, you know, the next phase of this YouTube stuff is like live workshops, maybe. Right now I'm just kind of getting used to being on the camera. That's kind of my only focus right now. Getting used to being on the camera and not being scared to talk to people live. It's a change of pace for sure. The hand looks a little wonky. We'll get back to it. Oh no. Something's off about that. We'll get back to it. Mm-hmm. I have to go. All right. Well, it was nice having you. Thank you so much for coming by. I really, really appreciate you, and it's very nice to meet you. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. You'll be able to catch the full stream if you want to keep watching. I put them up for people to watch, so I really appreciate you again, and thank you so much. All right. Let's see. Nice talking to you too. Thank you so much. I'm trying to speed up this process. Trying to think of the line weight. Then thin lines for the interior. Pressure down thick. Okay, let's get back to these feathers. I'm going to do a short and then long line. All the way down. All the way down. I want to show that separation of wings or feathers. Sorry. I don't really usually draw birds and stuff, so drawing feathers is kind of like a little challenge for me right now. But it's okay. That's kind of the point of these live streams. You got to kind of get to see me learn in real time. I feel like I don't show my real time process enough. It's always like the polished work. And art is a process, man. A lot of people don't understand that. A lot of people think that this stuff's like kind of magic, like AI. And no, this stuff takes time and it's created by hand. And it's a lot of trial and error. And I could probably use AI to design this stuff. Like if I wanted to start tattooing, I'd be like, hey, make me a design for a bird tattoo with flowers. Give me a dynamic pose. And it'll probably look okay. But that's not what I want to do, man. I want to learn. Let's take a look at the actual bird again. We can kind of simplify those a little bit more. Still going to add those interior details. Want to make sure the outside outline is thicker than the inside lines, just to give it some line weight. So I'm using pen pressure to create that effect. And here I'll, notice I'll do the whole thing and I'm like, nope, don't like it. Go back. Do it again until I do. Probably not the most efficient way of working, but hi, baby. My dog's here. Layla. I'm just going to erase some of these extra lines. Clean them up. Drawing live is so intimidating because it's like you mess up, and like people are watching, or maybe they're not, who knows. But it's like, you want to perform your best and you want to do your best for the people who are watching and keep them entertained. But it's like, if you're still learning, it's like you still have to like just kind of forget that they're watching and just do the best that you can, Sometimes some pieces take a little longer to figure out. And it's not always going to come out how you thought it would. But that's all right, Like, why did I choose to do a bird? I've, rarely drawn birds, but that's the thing. You kind of have to challenge yourself sometimes to do things that you've never done. I've never drawn a bird. Well, I've drawn birds, but never to a full illustration, or especially like a tattoo design, where the bird's interacting with the flowers or interacting with something. So I take some inspiration from other people's line works and I try to see how they do it so that I know, I only want to get better. And the only way to get better is to actually do the thing. Figure it out. Even if it looks like crap, you know, at first there's always gonna be a struggle. So you either choose to struggle now or, just give up. But if you try to figure it out, overcome the struggle, that feeling that you get when you actually finish and you say, wow, I'm actually proud of what I just created. There's nothing like that, man. There's absolutely nothing in the world that's better than that. Knowing that you overcame your doubt, pushed through a challenge, and, didn't give up. And completed the thing that you saw in your head. This is something that I saw. I watched the Ink Master channel on YouTube, and I see the challenges that they have, and sometimes the artists are like, dude, I've never drawn that before. And then you see the finished product and you're like, dude, there's no way you've never drawn that, but that's what the artwork looks like. And it's because they pushed through, they didn't give up. And sometimes it could be the best artwork you created because you put a lot of thought into it, and you take the time out to create the space that you need. Create the space that you need to say, I'm not going to give up. This is what I have in mind, and I'm going to keep going until it somewhat looks better, or sometimes, or it's till it looks what I want it to look like, or sometimes even better. Feathers are taxing if you don't know how to draw them. And I'm one of those people that doesn't know how to draw them. So I'm trying to find different ways of how to approach the different layers of it. I'm also trying to think of the form, right? So how can I show how can I describe the form? I think I'm being too conservative with my lines as well. I think I could be a little bit looser. Show more flow and direction. think, like I said, I'm just obsessing over details that are just, they're important, but it's like, look how fast I just did that wing when I decided to be loose, you know? I don't have to be perfect. As long as it looks believable and you're showing that sense of direction, like the bird's moving, you know? We'll keep it like that for now. If I really feel like I need to change it, I will. But I want to move forward. Sometimes you got to know when to stop obsessing and say, okay, I'm going to do this, and then if I don't like it, I'll change it later. So this is like the middle. These are magnolias, by the way, the flowers that I drew. I don't know if they actually look like magnolias. Maybe I could have drawn them better, but that middle piece looks terrible. We'll fix that up. Whoa, change my brush. Be a little bit smoother with my line. Right. I think it's cool that I actually this time sketched it out traditionally. So I use, pencil and paper, scanned it in, because for the tiger drawing, I did the sketch digitally. So I'm trying to also get used to traditionally creating these sketches, and then I'll clean them up digitally. I've been drawing with pen and ink for so long that I'm trying to get used to digital inking. It's just much faster. And if I do start tattooing, the iPad's going to be my best friend, So this is all part of the process. Learning new skills, adapting to new mediums. That's what it's all about, man. Keep it interesting. Right here. Being more loose. Beautiful. I want to take note of the pedal details as well. You also have these fingers. All right, and then we'll give it just a little details. Mm-hmm. Looks good to me. Sorry about that. Had to mute. My dogs start barking. I gotta fix that one. Trying to pull these lines. Who knows? Maybe these drawings that I'm doing can turn into like coloring book. Sorry, guys. I know I keep undoing. I'm really trying not to. I'm really trying to avoid the shaky lines, though. Mm-hmm. Looking pretty good so far. I'm digging it. Fortunately, this time we don't have many viewers, so a little quiet on stream. How does it look without the under sketch? It's also important that our line weight is readable. So we'll go over the outlines afterwards, make sure that they're nice and even. You know, we'll do the full pressure on the outside to give it all even width, stroke width here. I always think about turning these into canvases too, because I have a projector. I can just project these sketches onto I can project them onto a canvas and just paint them by hand as well. I used to do a lot of that when I first started out. It's funny, right? When you have so many followers on Instagram, and you realize like that does not translate to, you know, every platform. So if I'm like, hey, Instagram followers, I'm on YouTube, a lot of people won't even click click the link. You know, it's okay. Like I don't expect it. But this transition from, you know, I'm trying to go from Instagram to YouTube, and just because I think YouTube is just a better platform, as far as like building a community and just being remembered. Instagram is good for that quick hit, you know, but I don't know. I don't even know what to do anymore. But I'm going to keep drawing, that's for sure. That's all I know how to do, man. Clean it up after. Let's just get this done. Hmm. Trying to be a little bit loose, quick, you know. I think I don't let the lines occur naturally enough too. You want to be able to like just trust it, give it that energy, leave some of those folds in there. I'm trying to follow the sketch too direct. Just let it happen, man. Beautiful. Mm. Does need some help, but so we've been streaming for about an hour and a half. I think I'm going to leave the inks here for now. I'll end up playing around with some of the details after. Not perfect, but I don't want to keep the stream going for too long. We'll continue this session next time. For those of you who pulled up, thank you guys so much for pulling up. If it was a little quiet, I apologize. There wasn't too many people in the chat today, so not too much to talk about. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed another Ink with Inkstructor, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.